What's up YouTube, this is Tubedigga. In this video I'm going to show you how to get your pads to behave in a similar way to that of the pads of a Roland SP404 or an SP555. If you don't already know, those samplers allow you to latch a looped pad or a looped sample and have that sample loop indefinitely. We can't do that on the MPC currently. I've shown this in another video, but I've found yet another workaround which is more convenient to make your pads loop for as long as you like in your MPC. Before I get into this video, I'd like to thank all my current subscribers, anyone that's liked and shared my videos, anyone that follows and supports me on social media, and of course all my patrons on Patreon. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, please head over to www.patreon.com/Tubedigga. If you'd like private lessons with myself over Skype, Google Hangouts or Zoom, please contact me at tubedigga@gmail.com for more details. So, as said at the start of this video, the Roland SP404 and the SP555 and similar samplers in that range allow you to press a pad that's in loop mode and have the sample loop indefinitely or infinitely. In the MPC we can't do that. So let's just take a loop at the sample on pad 9 in this drum program. So this is just in one-shot mode, which is the default. So this is the sample play mode for this pad, and it's the default for all pads in a drum program. If we press this pad, it will just last for this duration where we've got our region set here. If we want that to loop, we need to go to LFO modulation, switch note on, go back to samples, and now we get access to our loops. So let's put this in ping pong mode, and now let's press the pad. As you can see, the sample still stops when we release our finger. If we press and hold the pad, it will loop forever, or until we die. Or something less extreme. If we now go to the filter envelope page, even if we increase the release time of this pad to the maximum of 127, it will just fade out over time. Bear in mind you could still die whilst waiting for this, but as you can see it fades out in a relatively short time. So what if we wanted this to last forever like you can do on an SP404 or SP555? Well, let's go to the main page. Now, the previous workaround was to press and hold a pad, switch tracks, and then as long as the track that you switched to had a different program type on it, the MPC wouldn't receive what's called a note off message, and it would override it and it would be waiting for that pad to be released. But because we released it on a different track with a different program type, it doesn't receive that note on message. So it's quite a nice little workaround which I showed in a previous video, and I've mentioned it in other videos. But this is more convenient. So let me just demonstrate to you. On track 2 we've got another drum program, so this won't work. We release the pad and it still fades out. If we now switch track 2 to a plugin or any other program type other than a drum program, let's now do it. And as you can hear, our loop is continuously playing. So whilst that's a nice workaround, I've found a more convenient workaround so we don't have to switch tracks and do that additional step. We simply have to switch transposition to any other value other than off in the track area. So I'm going to press the pad now. It's a looping pad, but it fades out. Let's now switch it to -4 or any other value. Let's go +5. And once again, our pad loops indefinitely. If you were to die, that would just continuously play until someone came and switched it off, obviously. So you might be thinking, well, why am I going to use this? Well, there's a lot of people that like using this method of playback. It allows you to not have to press play on the sequencer. You don't even have to use the sequencer. You could have synchronized loops that say drums that are already at the same tempo, and you could live trigger those to get a more live playback along with drones, sound effects, vocals, or anything else that you want to loop. And you can just all play that from a drum program as long as you've got this set to anything other than off. So you could set up a whole bank, put it on a particular track, change the transposition to anything other than off, and that will be your looping track. If you go to another track, as long as this is set to off, the samples on this track won't loop, or if you switch it back to something, they will loop as well. So it's completely flexible. It doesn't matter what track, what program, you can loop your samples just by using this. And the loop will actually stop if we switch this back to off as well. So it's currently not going to loop. Okay, we didn't catch it in time, so it's received the note off message. Now it's going to loop. But if we now switch this off, it's now received the note off message. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I'm going to play this video out by playing the track that I've got loaded into my MPC using this loop. I just need to go to Program Edit and just give it a bit of a long attack time so it fades in over time. As said at the start of the video, please contact me at tubedigga@gmail.com if you want private lessons over Zoom, Google Hangouts or Skype. If you want to become one of my patrons and support me on Patreon, it's www.patreon.com/Tubedigga. That's it, guys. I'll see you on the next one. This is Tubedigga, and I'm out.